Okay, inshallah, everybody can hear me now. I'm sorry for being a little late. Ina alhamdulillah, wa salat wa salam ala wa rasulullah. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Sunnah Followers Kids program. And this is the program that we have every Sunday, whereas we teach the kids how to live and maintain their Islamic identity. And also, we end with a hadith for the week. And today we're going to speak about, the importance of applying our Islamic morals into our everyday lives. Even though there are a lot of people who belong to the religion of Islam, we still are a minority. You may find yourself the only Muslim in your school, or you may find yourself the only Muslim in your class. And the people are going to look at you differently because people don't really know about us. They don't understand our way of life. All they know is what they see on television. And remember, our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us that true dawah is from your actions. And as Muslims, we're supposed to stand out over the non-Muslims. We're supposed to be better than them in our behavior, better than them in our mannerisms, better than they in how we dress and everything else. So whenever you leave your home to go anywhere, you're giving dawah through your actions. Everyone's going to be watching you to see how you behave, how you react. That's why you want to make sure that you're dressed nicely, that you're clean, you're pleasant, you're covered the way Allah commanded. But you're showing the world that just because I'm a Muslim woman, that doesn't mean that I can't be beautiful, because that's one of Allah's names. Allah is beauty, and Allah loves beauty. So even though I'm covered and I'm dressed modestly, I'm still beautiful. Okay? Just because I'm a Muslim man and I don't date and I don't play the hip hop game, that doesn't mean that I don't have swag. I got swag in a different way. So again, the world's going to be looking at us as Muslims when we leave our home. And we want to set a good example of our religion. And that's what today's class is all about. And let me put the PowerPoint up on the screen. And we're going to be studying and of course, we're studying from the book Dunya. This is a book written by one of my students, Brother Abdullah Kirk. And again, we're covering pages 146 through 151 in the book. Even though this is not a children's book, Islam appeals to anyone who has common sense. It doesn't matter. Anyone over the age of 6 can understand this religion. And the simple fact that the Sunnah follower kids have been learning from this book for the past year is proof of that. So we're going to speak tonight about Islamic ideals that we should apply into our personal lives that'll keep us balanced and also keep us productive in the sight of Allah. And when we speak about balance, remember, you don't want to be too religious, nor do you want to be negligent. We strike the balance. I'm a Muslim, but just because I'm Muslim does not mean that I cannot have fun. We do fun things too. I like the amusement part. I love roller coasters. Just because I'm Muslim, yes, I pray to my Lord 5 times a day, but I still, I like games too. I can play a Zelda too. So our lives are balanced. There's a time for this and a time for that. There's a time for prayer and there's a time for fun. So that's what distinguishes us from the non-believer. So we're going to go over some ideals to apply into our lives that'll keep us balanced and productive. Okay? And again, we already covered in this book how Muslims, as a Muslim, we face a lot of challenges because the people don't understand us. They don't understand our way of life. They only get this depiction of us from television. So we have to show them through our behavior. We talked about friendships, how we can have friendships, but we know when to do el-bara, to distance. When we're in school, we work as a group. If your teacher assigns you to do a group project, we'll participate. And I'll do my best to make sure we get an A. But once we leave school, you go your way and I go mine. Okay, even on the job, you work with your coworkers. You have each other's back on the job, but once we punch out, you go your way and I go mine. We help each other. And we also talked about how gender mixing, we don't mix with the opposite sex when we're, especially not if we're alone. Okay, so, but we've talked about how to deal with those issues and live in a non-Muslim society. And again, it doesn't matter how much you present yourself, many people will continue to be threatened by us because we are not the norm. Because the other kids do not stop what they're doing. When they're playing basketball, they don't stop to say, okay, let me go and take a 10-minute break and make a dhuhr and I'll come back. You know, so they're still going to look at us as if we're strange. But we don't allow their ideas of us to cause us to deviate away from how Allah commands us to be. Remember, Allah tells us in the Quran, in the interpretation of the meaning, whoever submits their face to Allah and they are a doer of good, this is the person that's grasped the most trustworthy handhold. So as Muslims, we still submit to what Allah says. We don't allow society to dictate to us how to behave, how to act, how to be. We do what Allah commands us to do, and we try to set a new norm for society. Also, Allah tells us to have good manners with the non-Muslims. Remember, we talked about how Allah says in the interpretation of meaning, Allah does not forbid you from those who don't fight you because of your religion and who are not expelling you from your homes. He doesn't forbid us from being good towards them and acting justly towards them because Allah loves those who are just. You know, we treat people kindly. You know, if this person is not fighting us, the person is not ridiculing us, and we treat them with respect. We treat them with dignity, even though they're non-Muslim. So Allah reminds us that we should always, as Muslims, strive to be good and strive to be fair towards others, regardless of their beliefs, regardless of their background. Like we talked about last week, you go to school with the non-Muslims and say that there's a kid who chooses to be LGBTQ. We don't make fun of the kid. We don't beat the kid up, but we distance ourselves from them. But if the teacher tells you that you have to do a group project and that LGBTQ kid is part of the project, we still do the group project. We handle that kid on a business level. You know, I'm going to do my part, turn it in. He does his part, turn it in, and that's it. But we don't hang out at each other's houses or nothing. Okay, so, you know, we're not going to bully and beat people up because their way of life or their lifestyle is different than ours. So Allah is telling us in this verse, as long as they're not fighting against you, we don't fight against them. We treat them with dignity, even though they may be of a different lifestyle. Remember, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us, he said, Islam began as something strange and it will go back to being something strange. So blessed be the strangers. What does that mean? That means we don't care what other people think about us. We don't care what other people say about us. We're going to maintain our Islamic identity. We're going to hold firm to our Islamic morals and not allow people to try to convince us to take off our hijabs or sell drugs or get a girlfriend, get a boyfriend, or any of that. And you're going to sometimes feel different because you are different. Sometimes you're going to feel like you're a stranger because the other kids are doing things that you don't do. But remember, you are the stranger. Anytime you live your life obeying Allah, even anytime you live your life doing what's good, that makes you a stranger. So we have to hold on to the teachings of Islam. Even though you may be the only one in your school, the only one in your neighborhood living that way. But know that you are under the umbrella of protection from Allah, whereas those other kids are not. We have to hold on to those pillars of Islam. We have to understand that there is no deity worthy of worship other than Allah. We have to follow the rules and guidelines that our Prophet Muhammad set forth for us. That includes doing wala wal bara, having allegiance to Allah, allegiance to the Prophet, allegiance to the believers, and disassociating from anyone or anything that's not a part of that umbrella. We have to perform our prayers. We have to perform our prayers. If you're at school, you have to raise your hand, ask for permission to go to the restroom, to the bathroom. And then when you go to the bathroom or take your break to the bathroom, you have to perform your prayer at its time. Those 5 daily prayers keep us, under the protection of Allah. So we have to stop what we're doing throughout the day to perform those obligations. And also we have to be charitable to others, help those who are in need. That kid in the classroom that might need some extra help, the teacher asks you, can you help her? And you raise your hand and say, yes, I'll help her. And also we have to fast the month of Ramadan. When Ramadan comes, it doesn't matter that the other kids are not fasting. We fast. We fast. When we go to school, they offer you food to eat. No, thank you. I'm fasting for the sake of Allah. Allah loves those who are fast. Fasting has been enjoined upon us so to help us become righteous, better people. And when we can afford it, when we grow up, if we can afford to make Hajj, make Hajj. So as Muslims, we are called to follow those 5 pillars of Islam, regardless of the type of society we live in. And we don't allow society to come in between that. And in addition to those pillars, we have to also uphold our morals. Like we've been talking about. No edibles. The other kids are eating gummy edibles to get high off of. We don't get high. I don't need an edible. You want to call me a square? You want to call me names because I don't do drugs? So what? I'm not going to eat your edibles. I cover up. I wear hijab. I wear abaya. I'm not going to get naked like you girls are. Okay. Remember, this is dawah. How do we give dawah? Through our actions. And when the other kids see that you're different from them, that you are upholding your morals and principles, they're going to want to be like you. You'll be surprised how many kids will be wanting to be like you because you're strong. Listen to what Allah says and the interpretation of the meaning. Who is better in speech than the person who invites to Allah and does good deeds and says, indeed, I am of the Muslims. That's what you are. My behavior is better than yours. I don't need an edible. I don't need marijuana. I don't need a boyfriend to feel good about myself. I don't have to take off my hijab and be naked to feel good about myself. I am one of those who submits to Allah. I am Muslim. That's what you say to the other kids. Okay? So it's all about not just saying that you're a Muslim, but actually being one, living it, practicing it. You don't want to be like a lot of these adults. There's a lot of adults who have Arabic names. And if you ask them if they're Muslim, they'll say, oh yeah, I'm Muslim, but I'm not practicing. Well, then you're not a Muslim. Muslim is an Arabic word that means submit. Submit. I am one who submits to what Allah says. How can you be a Muslim if you're not living your life the way He commanded? So you don't want to be like that. You want to be Muslim in action, in deed, and in name. Does everybody understand that? And that will make you feel good about yourself because you know what your purpose in life is. You understand that you were created to worship Allah. You were put here on this earth surrounded by people who are not like you as a test to see if you truly do believe in Allah. So you know your purpose is to prove to Allah that you do believe in Him, to prove to Allah that you do submit to Him wholeheartedly. What does that mean? Wholeheartedly means I'm not going to pick and choose what parts of this religion to practice. I'm going to practice every aspect of this religion. I'm going to pray. I'm going to cover up. I'm going to fast Ramadan. I'm going to help those who are in need. I'm going to do everything that you commanded me to do, Allah. And I'm going to be honest. This is another thing that Allah likes. Allah loves honesty. Honesty. That means that I don't lie. I don't cheat. I don't steal. I don't go around deceiving people. Allah says that He loves honesty. And our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said a believer can commit sin. A believer can do everything but lie. How can you tell that a person's a believer? The believer can never lie. The believer is honest and just in all his dealings. So we have to be honest and just. We have to maintain our Islamic principles and how we treat others and how we deal with others. Listen to what Allah says in the interpretation, the meaning. O you who have believed in me, be persistent in standing firm for Allah and be witnesses in justice, and do not allow the hatred of a people to keep you from being just. Be just, because that's closer to righteousness. So just because all the other kids in school may make fun of me, just because all the other kids in school don't understand me, that doesn't mean I'm going to become like them, that I'm going to go around mistreating people like they do, as long as they don't put their hands on me. If somebody puts their hands on me, oh, I'm going to fight. I have that right. But just because you talk about me and call me names doesn't mean I'm going to do the same to you. You know, we're just and we stand firm in our belief in Allah. So we're going to be kind. We're going to be generous. We're going to be just. Also, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said the believers who show the best faith are those who have the best character. And the best amongst you are those who are good to their wives, good to their mothers, good to their brothers, good to their sisters. How you treat your family. You show respect to your parents. A lot of the non-Muslim kids, they talk back to their mothers. They disrespect their fathers. You shouldn't do that. Be kind to your parents. Be kind to your brothers and sisters. Show respect for each other. Have respect for the elderly. Also respect the people of authority. Even though your teacher may seem to be harsh and mean, you speak to her with respect. You don't put gum in her cheer. You don't put tacks in her cheer. You don't talk back to her like the other kids do. Like the prophet said, the best amongst us are those who have good character, good manners. A lot of these non-Muslim kids are lacking in that. And also, we have to show love and reverence to other people, to other human beings. Allah says in the interpretation of the meaning, O you who believe, do not allow a people to make fun of another people, because perhaps the ones you make fun of are better than you. So again, we're not going to make fun of that kid over there because he has dyslexia. I'm not going to make fun of that kid over there because she doesn't have a hand or her fingers are deformed. I'm not going to tease that kid over there because he's developmentally disabled, because perhaps they're better than you. Subhanallah. So again, by adhering to the laws and principles of Islam, not only are we making Allah happy, but guess what, guys? You're making the people around you like you too. So you see that? It's not about pleasing the people. I don't have to eat edibles. I don't have to take off my hijab. I don't have to have a boyfriend. I don't have to sell drugs to be popular with the people. All I got to do is please Allah and be popular with him. Because as our prophet said, when Allah loves you, he will cause the people on earth to love you too. So by upholding the principles of Islam, in turn, the people are going to look at you and say, wow, she's different. Wow, he's different, but he's nice. She's different, but she's nothing like the people say about her. She's different, but I like her because she's got good manners. She's got good scruples. She's a good person. So that's what happens when we live our lives pleasing Allah. In turn, you will end up earning the respect of the people around you. So now let's see how well you guys understood this. I'm going to ask everybody this question here. I want y'all to look at this question here, because I'm going to start and go around the room and have everybody give me an answer. The question is this. You are the only Muslim in your school. The other kids only think of you as they have seen on television. So what are some things that you can do to show them that you are not the bad person that they believe you to be? Who would like to start us off? Go ahead, Shuaib.
When you're in the classroom, don't like scream. And when you're outside at recess, if you accidentally knock someone down, say sorry.
MashaAllah. Yes, be respectable in your classroom. When the other kids are screaming and acting a fool, when the teacher turns her back, you don't participate in that. And when you're outside at recess, be respectable. Don't bully other kids. Be respectable. Good job, Shuaib. Brother Mukhtar and Taz, what's something else you can do if you're the only Muslim in school to show the people that you're not, that Muslims are not bad? Go ahead, Mukhtar and Taz.
Kind to them. Be kind to them. Stop.
Good job. Y'all hear that? Be kind to them. Give me an example of how you can be kind to someone. Say that there's a kid in your class. He forgot to bring his lunch to school. How would you show kindness to him?
Share it too.
MashaAllah. They sound so cute. They grew up. Exactly. Y'all hear what he said? Share your lunch with them. Share your lunch. You see that kid sitting over there. He doesn't have anything to eat because he forgot his lunch. So you go to him and say, hi, would you like to share? You would like to try some Somali food? Let me introduce you to this new dish. It's Somali. And the kid might like it, which I know he will like it. So you're going to share. You're not only sharing, but you're also teaching them something about another culture, about your culture. The culture of Islam is sharing, and your culture of food. MashaAllah, I like the answer. Sister Anaya, what's something else you can do that will change the kids in your school's opinion of you? Go ahead, Anaya.
Not be mean.
Yeah, not be mean to them. All the kids are making fun of the kid that rides the special ed bus. There's a kid that rides the special ed bus, and they tease her. So what do when you see the other kids teasing her because she rides the special ed bus? What do? Anaya, you gonna tease her too?
No.
That's right. You don't tease her. You tell the people that's not nice. That's not nice. Would you want somebody teasing you if you were on the special ed bus? Good job, Anaya. Okay, Brother Corday, what's something that you can do that will show the non-Muslims that you are not the bad person that they think Muslims are? Go ahead, Corday.
You can show them that you're not a bad person by being a leader and not a follower.
Whoa, that's real important. A lot of the kids want to be followers, but no, you're a leader. I'm not going to follow you and make fun of that special ed kid. I'm going to stand up and be a leader and show you that it's not a polite thing to do. I'm going to say no to drugs. When they bring those edible gummies to school and everybody is eating them, I'm going to be the first to stand up and say no, and don't bring those edibles around me. I'm going to be a leader and say no. A good job, Corday. Sister Amalia, what's something that you can do to show the people that you're not the bad person that they think you are?
When they need help, you can just go over there and say what they need help with.
Oh, yeah, good job. There's a lot of kids that can't read. Y'all see it with your parents here. A lot of your parents have a hard time understanding the meaning of words. They old. Well, some of the kids have a hard time understanding too. But alhamdulillah, because you believe in Allah and you come to Sister Layla's classes, and Layla's going to make you use a dictionary. So you know the meaning of a lot of these words. So you see a kid struggling in school, you go over and help her. You say, hey, I'll help you. Let me show you how to use the dictionary. And then you help that kid. MashaAllah. You see a kid struggling with math. They can't add and subtract correctly. You ask the teacher, can I help her? The teacher says yes. So you go over and help that kid. Good job, Amalia. Okay, Elma's kid, what's something else you can do to show the kids that you're not the bad person that they think you are? Go ahead.
So when they scream and shout for no reason, then you can say, I am calm because I'm a Muslim, and Muslims don't scream and shout.
Girl, she got the cutest accent. What'd she say, Elma?
She said when the other kids scream and shout, you say, I'm going to be calm because I'm a Muslim. And Muslims are calm and we behave good.
MashaAllah. Her speech is getting much better too, ain't it? It's just getting much better. She has the most beautiful voice. My God, my babies. Exactly. Kids are growing. All the kids are growing up here, guys. They've been coming to this class for 3 years. And when I see how well they speak now, because they were real young and they're getting older, oh my God, it makes me like, wow, subhanAllah. Exactly, guys. Like she said, we're supposed to stand out. We don't act like the other kids act. They screaming and shouting and jumping up in the cheers, throwing stuff at the chalkboard, making faces at the teacher, throwing spitballs across the room. We don't do that. We say, no, we're better than that. I'm not going to be a part of that. And that shows them that you are not the bad person. They expect you to behave that way. They think you're a terrorist, but you're showing them, no, the terrorists are you, not me. Good job, baby. I'm so proud of you. Sister Noura, mashallah. Sister Noura from Morocco is here. She's all the way in Morocco. Sister Noura, what's something that you can do to show the other kids that you're not the terrorist, you're not the bad person that they think you are because you're Muslim?
Having good manners.
Give me some examples of good manners.
Being kind to the other students and listening to the teacher.
Exactly. You got a slight accent too, Noor. You know that? You speak Arabic too?
A little bit.
I can tell. I hear an accent in there. Mm-hmm. And what part of Morocco? You say, are you in Casablanca?
I live in America.
Yeah, but what part of Morocco are you from?
I'm not sure.
Okay, you have an accent. Y'all hear her little accent? You sound so cute. Exactly, guys. You know, we have to do the opposite. They expect us to yell and scream and curse and talk back. Do the opposite. I'm polite. I am not going to speak out of turn. I'm going to raise my hand for the teacher to call upon me. And if the teacher talks to me in a harsh way, I'm not going to call her old baggy lady like the other kids do. I'm going to just, say, well, to myself, she's got problems, but I'm not going to disrespect her. And this is a big problem today in America. A lot of the teachers are disrespected. They're afraid to teach. They love to teach, but they're afraid to teach in some of the schools because of the schools have a bad rap because the children pull out guns, pull out knives, or the kids are trying to fight the teachers. Even a school bus driver. A lot of people don't want to drive the school buses, even though the school buses pay good money. Why they can't never keep anybody? Because the kids are so disrespectful. The kids will beat you up, challenge you as an adult. So that's why you want to be different than that. You want to stand up for justice, not be a part of injustice. Sister Sabrina, what's something you can do to show the people that you're not a bad person?
Well, because they think that you're a bad person, why don't you ask them what's something that I did wrong for you to think that I'm a terrible person? And if they explain something, then you can be like, well, okay, then I can change that. But if they don't explain anything, then you can be like, so why do you think I'm a bad person?
Exactly. Y'all see the intelligence there? Confront them. Just ask them, what you don't even know me. Why do you think that I'm a terrorist? Why do you think that I'm bad? Have I ever treated you in a bad way? Have you ever seen me behave like a terrorist? No. Okay. So, the reality, bring them to reality. Let them see that I've never done any harm to you. Confront them. Why would you think this way about me just out the blue? And that'll make them see, wow, she's right. Maybe we are being misled. That's also the sign of a leader. A leader will cause you to confront the reality. A true leader in life will cause you to look at the obvious and not get caught up in the unobvious. Good job, Sabrina. I'm so proud of you, baby. Dear Monty, go ahead, dear Monty. What's something that you can do to show the people that you're not the bad person they think you are?
Well, sometimes when I'm answering an equation on the board, the people always say that I can't do it. It's mostly the girls. It's not always the boys. It's sometimes the boys, but it's mostly the girls.
So you prove them wrong by doing it, right?
And also, sometimes they always do it. They even do it in Arabic. Arabic.
Yeah, you know, Muslims are crazy too. Y'all know that we got some bad Muslims too, you know. But I'm going to tell you what I do. This is just like you do. When people say, oh, she can't do it. Oh, she ain't smart enough. Don't give her that question. She can't think outside the box. I love to prove them wrong. You guys know what my saying is. I'm going to make you wear egg. Always prove them wrong. Oh, I can do it. Let me show you how well I can do it. I like that. You know, challenge me, call me out. I can do anything that I want to do. I want y'all to remember, as Muslims, the simple fact that you believe in Allah, the simple fact that you are praying your prayers every day and wearing your hijab, respecting your parents, you are doing everything Allah commanded you to do. You have the angels of mercy around you. And there ain't nothing on this planet that you can't do. If you wanted to fly, you could fly too. And that's what I've always said and still say, even though I'm half dead. I still tell people I can do anything I want to do, even fly. I taught myself how to run an IRC server. I taught myself how to code, how to make videos, how to design a website. My degree ain't in that. My degree is in communication. But if I put my mind to it, I taught myself how to stream. I can do anything that I want to do. And I want y'all to remember that. Because you're Muslim, because you're different, the world is yours. You can do anything you want to do. Just ask Allah, call upon him for help, and he will guide you to do it. So when the kids do that, especially the girls, because the girls like to make fun of people because they probably like you anyway, but that's another topic. But when the girls say, oh, he can't do it, you just smile and say, I'll take it, teacher. I'm going to show you I can do it. And then you make dua. You say, oh Allah. You say, inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi rajiun. And you say, oh Allah, guide me to solve this problem. And then you go to that board and you solve it. That's how you deal with people like that. I've been dealing with people like that all my life, still dealing with them. You hear me on here. I'm always having to check those men. It's always the men that harass me. Tell me what I can't do. Oh, I'm going to prove you wrong, bro. And that's the attitude that we have as Muslims. Yes. Brother Taz, go ahead. We got one more answer from Brother Taz. Go ahead.
Like a good friend.
Huh?
That's like a good friend.
Exactly. Be a good friend. We all need a friend. You know, we are the world. Y'all remember that? We are the children. Hello. Make a better life for you and me. Ain't nothing better than a good friend. It's hard to find a good friend, guys. You just call out my name. Y'all know I'll be there. It's good to be a friend to everybody. Ain't nothing better than a good friend. A good friend will be there in good times for you. A good friend will be there when you're sick to bring you chicken noodle soup. A good friend will have your back on the battlefield. You coming home from school and it's a group of kids think they're going to jump you. Your friend will come up and say, I got your back. Let's take them down. Hello. Ain't nothing like a good friend. A good friend knows, your weaknesses. A good friend knows your strengths. And a good friend is there to help you. You know the Prophet Muhammad. Who was his best friend? Does anybody know who the Prophet Muhammad's best friend was? Who was his best friend? Anybody know? Go ahead, Mukhtar. Go ahead, Mukhtar and Taz. Who was the Prophet Muhammad's best friend?
Abu Bakr.
Exactly. Abu Bakr. Abu Bakr had his back. When they threw the dung on him and tried to beat him up, Abu Bakr came out there and threw his body over the Prophet, said, beat me instead. Ain't nothing like a good friend. So you want to try to be a good friend to people. Always be truthful with your friend. Have their back in good times and bad. Remember, we are the world. We are the children. That's right. Make a better life for you and me. Yeah. Old song. That's a good one of the best answers. So, mashallah, guys, these are all examples. You guys gave beautiful examples on how we can disprove the myths of others. And by the way, that brings us also to this hadith. Hadith number 58 from the book 55 hadiths. Yeah, Sheikh Atlee put more than 55 hadiths in here by Sheikh Muhammad Saeed Atlee. We have to remember, guys, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, never forget the destroyer of pleasure. And what's the destroyer of pleasure? Death. We can die at any time. You can be riding your bike and all of a sudden, somebody just comes out of nowhere, knock you over, you fly up in the air, land on your head, bam, lights out, party over. Death can come at any moment. If we think about that reality, remember the advice that the Prophet Muhammad gave Ibn Umar when he was a young kid. Ibn Umar was about 10 or 11 years old. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told him, let me give you some advice, young man. He said, if you live to see the nighttime come, imagine that you will not be alive to see the daytime. And if daytime comes and Allah puts your soul in your body, imagine that you won't live to see the night. If we looked at each day as our last day here on earth, that this is the last day that I have to live on this planet, that's going to make us spend that day doing as many good things as we can to earn Allah's love. Then we'll go to school and be kind and respectable. We'll help our parents. We'll help our brothers and sisters. We'd be that good friend that we need to be to our friends if we looked at it like, I won't be here tomorrow. And that's another example of this hadith here, where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if the last hour begins to happen and you have a plant in your hand, then if you're able to plant that plant before the last hour happens, and remember, the last hour comes whenever we die. So this is saying you should do as many good deeds as you can before death comes to you. Because once you die, guys, there's no coming back to this world. It's too late. All the bad things you did will come to you in that grave in the form of an ugly man, and they will punish you. It's scary and it's real. So do as many good deeds as you can. Live each day as if it were your last day on this earth. If we all did that, we'd be happier people. We'd be better people. And should Allah take your soul, you go willingly. You'll say, I'm ready. You'll be like the Prophet Muhammad. Oh, Allah, take me. I want to be with the righteous. I want to be with the Prophet. I want to be with the companions. I'm ready. I'm ready. Take me. You'll go willingly. All right. So this was a very good class. I really hope that all of you will put what we talked about today into your week. You know, when you go to school tomorrow, be good, be kind, be respectable, do your obligations to Allah, and know that it's all about Him. It ain't about what the other kids think about you. If Allah loves you, He'll make the people love you that need to. Yes, go ahead, Elma's daughter.
I just had one more question about school.
Okay.
So there's 3 Muslim girls in my school. They were doing Halloween masks. They literally did have the Halloween masks. The 3 Muslim girls.
Yeah, there's a lot of Muslims that are bad Muslims. They don't practice their religion.
And one of the girls, they wear a Christmas shirt.
Yeah, you're going to find a lot of Muslims who don't practice the religion. They're going to be doing just what the Kafirs do. You don't want to be like them. And you don't want them to be your friends either. You treat them nicely in school, but don't hang out with them after school. Remember, the Prophet Muhammad, we talked about that in another hadith. The Prophet said, when you choose your friends, you choose righteous, practicing, strong Muslims to be your friends. Because you're going to see a lot of Muslims do not practice. They don't wear hijab. They don't cover up. They got boyfriends, girlfriends. They sell drugs. They take drugs. They do Christmas. They do Halloween. You know, they do all kind of stuff. They're just Muslim in name. You're not, and you're supposed to be a Muslim in action. So when you see the other Muslims being bad, just say A'udhu Billahi and shake your head and keep it moving. Just don't be a part of that. And don't take them as your friends either. Don't be friends with them either. Just be nice to them in school. But if they ask you to come over their house, no, thank you. If they want to come to your house, no, thank you. Because we have to be careful who we surround ourselves with. Because if you end up hanging with them, you'll be doing Halloween and Christmas too. So just,
I only hang around with hijabi girls. I have 2 friends that wear hijab.
Yeah, good. Yeah, that's all you need to do. Be with the girls that cover up and practice like you. Stay away from those Muslims in name. And there's a lot of them, especially if you live in a Muslim country. If you lived in a Muslim country, you'd be surprised how many Muslims are not practicing their religion correctly. So you have to be careful, to not, be friends with them personally, but be kind and nice to them. But they're not the kind of people that you would take as your personal friend. Yes, go ahead, Sabrina. Go ahead, Sabrina.
Well, I do have some friends like that, but I have one of my friends. Her name is Lena, and she also lives in the same neighborhood as me. She celebrates Christmas, Halloween, and everything, plus Ramadan and Eid, but she can never take off her hijab. So I'm still kind of like, why do you celebrate that? She is Shiite though. There are some 2 4th graders in my school. And one of them, she wears a hijab, but her clothes that never match it. Like she will be wearing tights, but with a hijab. And the other one, she wears a hijab, but very nicely and dresses modesty.
Yeah, see, Sabrina's an older kid. When you get to be like Sabrina, more older and mature, Sabrina knows how to deal with them in a way that will cause them to want to change, to become like her, more practicing. Okay, we'll talk about that for the little kids when you get older. You will find that the Muslims that are not practicing the way they should, when they see the strength in you and they see the dedication that you have, it's gonna pull them to you. That's again another way of being a leader. We're supposed to be leaders on earth. And the people should try to want to be like you instead of you being like them. And that's what Sabrina's dealing with. Sabrina she's older, she carries herself in a dignified, balanced manner that when other Muslim girls see her, and they see how she takes her religion seriously and how strong she is, they say, I want to be like her because she is what I'm supposed to be doing anyway. You know, her fitra, their fitra. We talked about that fitra. Their fitra will be drawn to you. Like those other girls, their fitra is drawn to Sabrina. Okay. But for now, for you, for Elma's baby, you distance yourself from those girls who are like that. You distance yourself. You want to have, like Sabrina says, Sabrina does have a friend that's like her, that practices. You seek out only those that are strong and God-fearing like you. Okay. Then when you get older, you're going to find
distance away from that.
Yes, you're going to find when you get older, the other kids are going to be, the other Muslim kids are going to try to gravitate towards you like they do Sabrina. That's how they did me too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead.
They even annoy me.
Huh?
Sometimes they even annoy me for no reason.
They annoy you?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that, you know, that's because they're jealous. At that the age you are, they're jealous right now. Because they see in you what they're supposed to be doing, and it makes them cruel. So like I said, you just stay away from them. Your case, you distance yourself from them completely.
They even made my clothes dirty.
Yeah, that's why. And by the way, Sister Elma, is she taking Taekwondo?
I've been looking, Sister Layla. I want to find like a good one, the right one for her, with like a female teacher, maybe if possible. But
don't worry about that. That's an exception. She don't have to have a female teacher. She needs Taekwondo, or any Taekwondo is good at her age, because they're not going to be teaching her one-on-one. She's going to be in a group with other kids. Yes. So you ain't got to worry about it being a man. Dr. Jamali, my teachers were male, you know. So just get her some self-defense ASAP. Every Muslim kid, and especially you girls, should know self-defense. So that way, when somebody tries to pour dirt on you, she's got to teach them to not touch her. And they're not going to do that unless she take them out. I mean, so she put her in Taekwondo. It ain't no certain school. Any Taekwondo school is good. Yeah. Put her in it. Because she needs to learn how to defend herself. You don't want her being bullied because she's pretty. They're going to be jealous of her. And you can't, nowadays kids are horrific. Yeah. So sign her up for that ASAP. And then, like I say, then her age, she distanced herself from them. Okay. But when she gets older, she'll be like Sabrina. They'll be trying to come towards her. And they know not to put their hands on Sabrina, because Sabrina can defend herself. Once they see that you can defend yourself, they ain't going to bother you. Not like that. Yeah. Okay. Well, alhamdulillah, this was a good session. This was a very good session, alhamdulillah. I want all you kids to put this into practice. And I want to remind everybody, don't forget that we have Brother Mukhtar's class, The Life of Khalid bin Walid. Last week, he talked about how Abu Bakr, may Allah be pleased with him, had died. And Umar became the new leader over the Muslims. And the first thing that Umar did was he dismissed Khalid bin Walid as the general of the army. And so now Abu Ubaidah is the general of the army. But you get to see how Khalid bin Walid showed dignity and still fought in the way of Allah. So I want to make sure that they're fighting against the Romans. So I want all of you to be here for Brother Mukhtar's class at 7:30 tonight. So we can see, how Khalid bin Walid behaved. Look at how he behaved as a person who was no longer the leader, but he had to follow the orders of another. So make sure everybody's here for that at 7:30. And yes, I have my class at 6:30. on Know Your Lord. We're going to speak about mercy. And tonight is my series on marriage, the sacred bonds of marriage. So I'm going to log out for now. I'll be back at 6:30. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta. Astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum, everybody.
Walaikum salam, Sister Leila.
Oh, she sounds so cute.
Walaikum salam. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, what's this?
They sound so